Yeah. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praises and our honor and our glory unto Yahweh. Ba'asham Yahweh Shai. Ba'asham Rakah Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the Akim and the Four Winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, the elect, Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through their father and have come back to the fold, Shalom. To you sisters, you Akwatium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader. This your brother Aram Yahawada with the lesson.
Days of investigating into family and community calling for justice. We are hearing directly from the sheriff about the arrest and the shooting death of a local mom.
It's a story that has been gaining national attention. Susan Lawrence was arrested just last night on manslaughter charges. Deputies say she shot and killed Ajika Owens through a closed door. News 6's Lauren Cervantes starts our coverage live in Marion County. And Lauren, you got an update from the sheriff.
Yeah, in a one-on-one interview with Sheriff Billy Woods, he tells me Lawrence was not standing her ground in this case.
And here in this case, we look at it, even with the shooter's statements, the door being shut, okay, not being able to see beyond the door. There are certain things that raises that hair to say, this ain't quite here.
After days of investigating and cries for justice from a mourning family and community, Marion County Sheriff Billy Woods says his detectives have the evidence to arrest 58-year-old Susan Lawrence for shooting through the door of her home and killing Ajika Owens.
9-year-old Ajika Owens. News 6's Mark Lehman was in the courtroom and has the latest.
Susan Lawrence learning that for now she'll remain in jail for the killing of Ajika Owens, but things could change down the road. This coming as the victim's family continues to question the timeline and severity of the charges.
Good morning, ma'am. What is your name? Susan Lawrence. Ma'am, you've been charged with...
During an initial appearance hearing, probable cause was found for the arrest of Susan Lawrence on manslaughter charges. The judge then deciding to not rule on bond for the 58-year-old after the state said they'll be seeking pretrial detention.
Are you or are you not going to file a motion for pretrial detention?
We will be doing that, Your Honor.
Following the hearing, the clerk of court unsealed the 17-page arrest affidavit. It details statements by several witnesses from the night of June 2nd. That's when deputies say Lawrence threw a skate at Ajika Owens' 10-year-old child. When Owens knocked on her neighbor's home, investigators say Lawrence opened fire through her closed front door, claiming she was in fear for her life. According to the...
Yeah, let me rewind this again so to make sure I heard what I think I heard correctly. So it took them forever to arrest this woman, right? It's basically based on murder. But let me wind this back, because it sounded like it said the lady also threw a skate at her child. At best, that's some type of child abuse, right? She couldn't get arrested on those charges. So you still left her at home and arrested her days later after she abused the child, underage, right? I think they said it was a 10-year-old kid, right? So it's still be considered underage. You threw a skate at him, right? That's some type of assault or something. Assault on a minor, something, whatever, you know? That in itself is a charge. Let's see. If I can wind just a little bit.
We will be doing that, Your Honor.
Following the hearing, the clerk of court unsealed the 17-page arrest affidavit. It details statements by several witnesses from the night of June 2nd. That's when deputies say Lawrence threw a skate at Ajika Owens' 10-year-old child. When Owens knocked on her neighbor's home, investigators say Lawrence opened fire through her closed front door, claiming she was in fear for her life. According to the affidavit, Lawrence said Owens was irate, yelling, quote, "I'm going to expletive kill you." Lawrence adding she panicked and thought to herself, "Oh my God, she's really going to kill me this time." Statements from Owens' children were taken 3 days later. Her son saying his mother said, quote, "Don't touch my son," and, quote, "throw something."
See? Then it's taken 3 days later to get the statements from the children. Anyone knows you get those statements immediately, because memory gets fuzzy after a certain amount of days in time, right? And at best, this woman committed a child, what do you call it? Assault, right? Assault. You committed an assault on a child, which will go into child abuse, right? This thing.
At me. He then said he heard a loud noise and his mother run away, falling to the ground. The judge said the motion for pretrial detention will need to be addressed in the next 5 days. We'll be watching for that. As of now, the next hearing.
Well, let's see what this pretrial means. Yeah, so this is just on Google. Just Googled it. What is this? WW prison politics policies. It says more than 400,000 people in the U.S. are currently being detained pre-trial. In other words, they are waiting trial and still legally innocent. So basically, child abuse, right? Or assault, or however you want to fancy it up. So she's still basically legally innocent. Many are jailed pre-trial simply because they can't afford money bail. Others because a probation, parole, or ICE officer has placed a hold on their release, right? So this is what they're saying this detention is, right? Let's go a little bit further. Let's see if we can find a little bit more. So this is Wikipedia. Pretrial detention. It says a pretrial detention, also known as preventive detention, provisional detention, or remand, is a process of detaining a person until their trial after they have been arrested and charged with the offense. A person who is on remand is held in prison or detention center or whatever, or held under house arrest. So ultimately, this lady basically did child abuse, murdered somebody, and basically she's still willing to basically do pre-trial detention, which is basically saying she wants to go home. She want to be on house arrest, right? Hey man, see, but the Lord, in which the elders had told us, the Most High is going to start judging you women, man, on a heavy level, man, right? So the things that the scriptures say, it's coming into fruition, man. So I mean, none should want her mate, man. There's no other Bible, there's no other book or anything you can link up with the Bible with this, man. There's no other thing that's greater than the Bible, man. And the Lord is going to judge you women heavy, man.
Uber passenger shot and killed in Buckhead, and police are telling 11 Alive that they believe that that woman was actually targeted and her killer is still on the loose. 11 Alive, Bo Beth Yates is live. Tells us where it took place on Lindbergh. So, Bo Beth, what's the latest?
Well, Ron, we found out the shots were fired at this intersection behind me. In fact, that second lane right there. And as police investigate, they're asking anyone with information to come forward.
It was rapid fire. It looks like she went down to the floor for cover.
Jahari Humbles described the shooting scene at the intersection of Lindbergh and Adina Drive.
You could see that, something pretty bad had happened, and there was one person that didn't survive.
According to Atlanta Police Department, officers arrived on scene to find a person shot in a black Escalade being used as an Uber. We're told the passenger who was in the back of that vehicle was struck multiple times after a car drove up next to it and began firing into the vehicle.
This appears to be a targeted incident. As you can see the number of shell casings. There were multiple shooters. But again, we just don't have a whole lot to give out right now.
Police have not released the victim's name, but neighbors identify her as Tisha Brody and said she moved from Guyana with her brother.
It turns out she only lives in the next block, so she was less than a block away from home. I think they just caught her at the red light. It looks like that she was ambushed.
Police also tell me the driver of the Uber was not injured. And again, they're asking anyone with information to come forward. The number to Crime Stoppers is 404-577-TIPS. Live in Buckhead, Bo Beth Yates, 11 Alive News.
And Bo Beth, hopefully someone will.
Thank you. Now to a breaking news update. Police are looking for the shooter who killed a pregnant woman and then left her body in the middle of the street.
And now Chicago police are telling us that pregnant woman was allegedly trying to rob a driver when she was shot. Just disturbing details in this story as it unfolds. CBS News' Asal Razai live at the 25th District Police Station with more about what happened here.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Very unusual and devastating circumstances surrounding this shooting. Police say that the shooter took off, leaving hundreds of dollars in cash on that victim's body. The victim, 21-year-old and 7 months pregnant, was shot multiple times after getting into a car, and police saying demanding money. We're told shots were fired both from outside of the car and from people inside of the car. In this video, you can see a big crime scene. This is near Laramie and Montana around 1 o'clock yesterday. Family and friends identifying her as 21-year-old Genesis Escobar. The shooting apparently happened near a family friend's home. They tell us they found Escobar shot in the street after hearing at least 4 gunshots.
They threw a bunch of money on top of her.
What does that represent in your opinion?
Yeah, that don't make sense. So she's trying to rob them, and they threw a bunch of money on top of her. Do not sound like she was trying to rob them. This sound like some type of cover-up or something. And then I don't understand how they would get that. This thing was at whatever umpteenth hour at night or whatever it was. And all people said they heard 4 different gunshots. Right? Then this chick is laid out on the street pregnant, and they threw money, and they just took off. But she was trying to rob them. I don't know how to even come up with that story. That sounds bizarre. I mean, not to say it's not possible, but I mean, it just don't sound right. But you women are being judged on a high level, man. The Lord is allowing things to happen to you that would have never happened to you. Right? You know?
No, if she was into some kind of trouble.
Now, we do know the shooter took off in an unknown car. The woman and her unborn baby, unfortunately, died at the hospital. Right now, police say they are... So, he took off in a car, unknown individual, unknown car, but they know she was trying to rob them. Hey, make that make sense. But judgment is going out, man. Right? Yeah, so this is Isaiah chapter 32,
verse 9 says, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease," man. So a lot of you women are at ease, man, because ultimately, Esau, right, put you in this mind manipulation to think, to do things outside of your nature, outside of being a woman, right? Now that's a bad thing to be barefoot and pregnant and in the kitchen. You know, that's supposed to be frowned upon, right? But that was nothing that frowned upon, you know, back in the day, right? Yeah, so this is Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent, right, and we're not talking about an actual snake. We're talking about a people, right? Right. This is another tribe. A man is speaking to this woman, and it's talking about his attributes, which is like a serpent. Were more cunning, right? Right, because one of the symbols in the Hebrew for snake is wise, right? Wisdom, right? You could be wise to be righteous or wise to do evil, and he's wise to be what? Evil or wicked, right? They're the wicked sons of God, the sons of man, and the sons of wicked. So this is the son of the wicked, right? The serpent, right? There are 3 classifications of people in this time. And now the serpent, which were more subtle than any beast of the field, right? Which is talking about all people, right? Which Yahweh power had made, and he said unto the woman, have power, said, or your God, because we didn't serve the same gods, have the power, said, ye shall not eat of any tree of the garden, right? Which is basically going into their philosophies, their ways, right? And the woman, right, matter of fact, and the woman, let me go out, I finish it. And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, right? So he said, yeah, we could eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. So, you know what I mean? He's he's laying it out for her, like, you know, he's opening up a window. And really, a woman shouldn't be speaking to another man anyway. This is her first mistake anyway. She should have been like, oh, let me go get my husband. He tried to speak to her again. Oh, let me go get my husband. And maybe she did that a couple of times. You know, because you got to think this is not just a one period thing. It's mysteriously one day. So this probably happened again and again and again. Or maybe she ignored him at the time. But this time she's going, yeah, all right, man. You broke me down. You what? Let me, no, yeah, we can't eat of the fruits of the field. Right? But it should have been no times, you know what I mean? No matter how many times, 100 times, 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times, you know, never should another man be speaking to a woman who's already talked to, who's already sought after, who already have a husband, right? But the fruits of the trees which are in the midst of the garden, power or God had said, ye shall not eat, neither shall thus touch, lest ye die. So don't even go down over there. Don't even talk to don't even touch the ways of this philosophy. Don't even consider it. Don't touch these ways, right? And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die, for God know, or your God, your power knows, doeth know that in that the day ye eat of, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. So this is going back into the time Eve, the woman wanted to do her own thing. She wanted to be a god. She wanted to stand in the position of being a man, because technically she knew she was supposed to go get her man, her husband. She was supposed to go get Adam while this man was talking to her. But she took it upon herself to entertain what another man had to say. And when he attained that, he was like, hey, you could do what you want. Right? And that's Esau Edom today. That's the self-proclaimed so-called white man that he has done to you women, man. They gave you a thing. They gave you, what is this, subsidized housing. What is it, Section 8. Told you not to let the man be in there. You could do your own thing. Matter of fact, you can go to school. You can go do this and that. You can get jobs. You could do your own thing. Right? Yeah, so this is Jeremiah 10:14, 1599 Geneva Bible. It says every man is a beast, right? Going into it being what? A man that's a beast. Even when you deal with the whole point of a serpent, normally a serpent is not what you call a beast. You know, a horse, you call it a beast. You know, cows, buffaloes, you know, deers, you know, certain things like that. Bigger animals, four-legged, bigger animals are normally called beasts. You normally call a serpent a beast, right? You know, so that's a key thing too. But go ahead and so every man is a beast by his own knowledge. So this is going into by his own knowledge, right? Which that's what she was going into, another philosophy, another way, another knowledge. So you're a beast. That's why the Lord said you're gonna die. You're gonna be in the congregation of the dead. Every founder is confounded by the graven images, going into what? Another god, going into other ways, graven images or other gods, or another philosophy, another way. So that's basically what Eve went into, another way, right? Thinking she could be her own god, right? For his melting is by falsehood, right? You melting gold and silver over a carved man or beast or whatever you wanted to pray to, right? These things that they pray to, you know, a rock, you know, whatever they pray to is by falsehood. That's false, right? Those are different gods, different philosophies that Eve wanted to go into. And there is no breath in them. So these things are not living. These things can't really make decisions for you, but the Most High can. The Lord calls you to live, die, wake up, go to sleep. The Lord controls all of that. You know what I mean? Right? There's a scripture that says what? Sleep is a blessing, right? So to let you know that what even you to go to sleep comes from the Lord, man. It says it's a footnote for Jeremiah 10:14. It says the more that that man think, right, or woman think to do anything well by his own wisdom or her own wisdom, which that's what Eve did. Then she turned around and broke this thing down to Adam, and then he went into the wrong way, right? Because of the woman, we all die, man. Like the scriptures say. I'm gonna have to get that when you go into your own wisdom and not as God instructeth him or her, the more doeth he prove himself to be a vile beast. And so the more she did it, she proved herself to be a vile beast, and then she basically led Adam or down that wrong way, right? Which show you what happens when a woman's in charge, right? It says, right, that's a good one too. I'm gonna read that and I'm gonna skip down. It says, Ecclesiastes 25:19, all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman, right? So a woman, she's not figuring she's doing anything big. Yeah, I just listen to talk to this other man who's from a different tribe, who's telling me a different philosophy, to go a different way, that I could be my own God, but not worship the one true God that I already know that exists, the one that already showed us everything, gave us the rulership of the world. You were ruling the world. The Lord said, have dominion over the world and subdue it. That don't mean just, it didn't mean just the fowls of the air or the beast in the field, which goes into the beast of the field, actually goes into the people too. You're supposed to subdue the things that's in the water, subdue the whole earth. So you had rulership. Your God gave you rulership over the whole world, but her thing was to go, I could be my own God, right? See, a little wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. So, but not only did it fall upon her, what did she do? She gave it to her husband. So, what happened when she gave it to her husband? It says what? A wicked woman, skip down to 23. A wicked woman abateth the courage, right? So she makes a man courage go away. So at this point, Eve is wicked, man. To come speak to him about this other philosophy, of this other way, right? So she abated what? Abated his courage. So the courage that he had went away. Maketh a heavy countenance. So Adam ended up having a heavy countenance. And a wounded heart. A woman that will not comfort her husband. See, and in that thing, she was supposed to be meant to comfort her husband who believes in Yahweh, right? Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, because then who created the earth? The Yahweh Shai and the angels, right? Because in the first two chapters, it's speaking about the Elohim. It says Lord, but really it's going into the Elohim, which are the angels, right? The sons of God that created the earth, the heavens and the earth, through the power of the Most High. Then the third chapter mentions the Most High, Yahweh, all caps, right? So to go against Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, this woman wanted him to go, and it abated his courage. And then she's supposed to be there to be that, and will not comfort her husband in distress. Make it weak hands and feeble knees, man. And ultimately, that's what he did. He ended up bowing down to other gods. And of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all died, right? So that's ultimately what happened through Eve, man. Once you got these women above you, man, right? And this is the thing that Esau has taught you women, man. Yeah, so this is 2nd Esdras chapter 7 verse 48. Oh, thus Adam, right? Because what Eve came with that philosophy unto Adam, and when Eve came, instead of being that pillar of rest, right? She that broke of his courage, right? And it basically made him susceptible to his enemies. So then he ended up bowing the knee to these other gods, making him open to the enemy being able to attack, right? That's why we went into slavery so many different times, right? So it says, what has thus done? See, oh Adam, oh thus Adam, what has this done, man? What did you do, man? What the hell? Why would you listen to this woman? But ultimately, what the Lord, it was something that needed to happen, so we can go through this process. But at the same time, it still wasn't meant to be done, right? I mean, it was, but it wasn't. You understand? You were told not to do this. Is what you're told not to do. So now there's a punishment that comes with that, right? For doing what you were told not to do. For though it was thus that sin. So even though it was you that sinned, thus are not fallen alone, right? Through her we all died. She came to Adam with this madness, and now what? We all died because of the woman. We all died. And she wasn't being that pillar of rest, right? Because it tells you a good and loving woman fattening the bones, man. She'll a good loving woman who's not wicked will strengthen you in your walk with Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. But instead of coming to you with another philosophy, another way, another thing, saying, yeah, men ain't ish, they ain't nothing but dogs, they da, so on and so forth. Oh, where's your God now? Curse God and die. You know what I'm saying? These are the things, she wanted to be God. She wanted to be her own God, right? So she came with the thing, and so it weakened him. It made him abated his courage, right? A wicked woman abated her husband's courage. So that would have to be that Adam lost confidence in the Most High, and went with this philosophy, went with these ways, bowing down to other gods. To we all, are not fallen alone, but we all that come of thee, man. So all the sons of God fell, right? For what profit is it unto us if there be, says, promised us in immortal time, right? Because we weren't supposed to die. We was not supposed to die. We were supposed to be immortal. Whereas we have done the works that bring death. So now what's going on now to these days? You're bringing forth the works that bring death, man. Ultimately. And a lot of men are bowing down to these women, man. Yes, so this is Isaiah chapter 34, verse 16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord, right? The Bible, the scrolls of the Bible. Back in the day, they were in scrolls, but now they're in books, right? Seek ye out of the book of Yahweh, right? All caps, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and read, right? Blessed is he that readeth, man. No one of these shall fail. So just like the Lord said in the prophecy, what? That you were gonna eat of or go beyond these other philosophies, you touching these other philosophies, that what? You were going to die. Now you bring forth what? The works that bringeth forth what? Death, man. Going into these other philosophies, these other ways, these things that have nothing to do with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, putting the woman, so the woman that could pass with the man, and they set this thing up. All that is bring forth death, man. Right? Now you women are supposed to be boss women, boss babes, bad bees, what is it? Hot summer girls, whatever this thing is. But it was never to be so, man. See, but now those things are starting to come around and reap, man. Those things are starting to come around. You know what boss people have been through? You know, you want to be like the men where they were big mafia bosses. Well, guess what? Sometimes those big mafia bosses had people come around them and ambush them and shoot them up in their car. So here she is in her nice Uber, and someone still got someone, and they surrounded her, and it was like a hit. They said they didn't even hit the driver of the Uber. Right? They only killed the lady. So there was it was a strategic hit. The woman that her who got shot after her kid got hit by a skate. You know what I'm saying? These are the things that God is doing. He's judging you women, man. Right? But this is all in the scriptures. It says since not one of these shall fail, none shall want her mate, for my mouth it haveth commanded, and his spirit it have gathered them. Right? So the Lord is constantly what? Allowing angels and demons to ascend and descend unto heaven and back down to earth, making things happen, man. This is the word of the Lord. Right, so this is you know, to get back to, you know, what I was saying before, because now all of a sudden these days, what, to be barefoot and pregnant and cooking in the kitchen, it's a bad thing. That's the sin, right? Now you're wrong if you do that, right? But in the day, it says, and Rachel, right, Genesis 30:1, and when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, oh, she's like, oh, wait a minute, I haven't bore any children, right? Rachel envied her sister, right? Because her sister was, you know, giving birth. She had a couple babies for Jacob, which is Israel, which is Jacob, which is our father, man. He's Israel, Jacob, Jacob, Israel, Yasha Allah. This is our father. You know what I'm saying? Who all you Israelites come from, eh? So this is how his wife was behaving. And this is Israel. This is our father. This is Jacob. This is our father. And this is how his wives are acting. Right? They wanted to have children. One was envious of the woman who the other one that had children, and said to Jacob, "Give me children, or else I die, man." So what about the whole barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen thing was a bad thing? When the women of these days will say, "Hey, look, I need to have children. I need to be a woman. I need to be a wife." Right? So come back here, Isaiah chapter 32, verse 9, right? Because the Satan then warped you guys' mind, man. Right? Make you think that having children is a bad thing. But what our mother, Rachel, right? From our father, our father's wives wanted to have children. You know what I'm saying? His wives wanted to have children for him. Plural, wives. And nothing's changed, man. It says, raise up ye women. So that's ultimately what it is raise up ye women that are at ease. This thing of a woman compassing a man, this thing has made you women at ease, man. Right? But the Lord is starting to judge, man. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear to my speech, right? The Lord said, what? None of these shall fail. Right? Things that come out of the Lord's mouth, he will gather it and make it happen, man. None of these shall fail. None shall want her mate. None of these words shall fail. So, hey, give ear to the Lord's speech, man. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, right? So you women are now starting to feel it, man. What the apostles have been saying for quite some time. Ye careless women, and that's ultimately what you are, man. You're careless. For the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease, man. You should be trembling, man. We're in the time of Jacob's trouble. We're in the time that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is breaking apart the families, man. You know what I'm saying? You're going to either be of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, of righteousness, or you're going to be of the world, of wicked, and doing the things that you want to do, thinking that it's lawful. It's what's up. You want to be your own God. You want to be your own man. When matter of fact, let me go to this real quick, because our mother, it says 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 6, even as Sarah, right? Sarah is the mother of us all, right? We the Israelites. We come from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? So Sarah obeyed Abraham, obeying her husband, right? Not going above her husband, trying to be her own thing, right? So even after the fall, there were some women that held true to what their position was meant to be. And really all you women could do it, right? But of course, you got those rebellious spirits that'll do what they want to do. As Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord. You can't be your own God. Your Lord is your husband, right? So whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well. See, if you're gonna do well, this is one of the things. This is a key thing to do in doing well. As long as ye do well, and are not afraid. So you're not afraid of what everybody else thinks. Oh, barefoot and pregnant. You're afraid what everybody thinking, but instead of doing what's well, right? Be not afraid with any amazement. Do not be amazed that the world is going to do their own thing. A woman's going to pass a man, and they're going to do their own thing. But you got to do what's right. You got to do what's right. Right? You got to do, as long as that's do what's well, right? Calling what? Obeying her husband, calling him Lord. That's her Lord. You can't be your own God. Your Lord is your husband. Come back right here. It's Isaiah chapter 32, verse 11. Tremble ye women that are at ease, man. Be troubled, man. Trouble in time. Hey, man, that's why the Lord is allowing a lot of deaths with you women, man. Judgment starts at the house of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. And the Lord got big judgment with you women, right? Because of the woman, what? We all died, man. It says, Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare. Right? It's coming to a time that what? You ain't going to have all the clothes and all the different things that you have now. Right? We going to be on limited supply. Because supplies are not coming here now. Right? Girt sackcloth upon your loins. Right? Hey, and you're gonna have to do that. Matter of fact. Yeah, so this is Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, right? So we're coming to that day of Jacob's trouble, where 7 women are going to have to take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and what? And wear our own apparel. So you're gonna girt sackcloth upon your loins, man. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. So you're going to be begging for a man to take away your reproach, man. Right? Because you're not going to be able to be that so-called boss babe. You know what I'm saying? Because in that time of Jacob's trouble, you're gonna know that you're not your own God. Right? You're gonna have to say, let me be called by your name, right? To take away your that reproach. So that day you're gonna be calling your husband Lord. Right? And that's fastly approaching around the corner, man. You're gonna be girding sackcloth around your loins, right? Saying what? We'll wear our own apparel, and then you ain't gonna be wearing pants. Right? You ain't gonna be wearing tight skirts and all these other crazy things. You're gonna wear a nice long dress skirt or whatever you create, but it's gonna be of a righteous apparel, man. Yes, it says and girt sackcloth upon your loin. Yeah, you're gonna say let us wear our own apparel. Just let us be called by your name. Yeah, so on that day, and they shall lament. Right, lament means cry, man. It ain't gonna be a happy, lucky go time, man. It's gonna be hell on wheels, man. Right? Lament for the teats, man. All the goodies and them lifting you up on a pedestal in this society. It's gonna all come to an end. Right? For the pleasant fields, right? The pleasant land, the world, the pleasantry of America, which they're already talking about droughts in California, Arizona, Nevada, all throughout the Mississippi River. You know what I mean? You know that's one of the biggest rivers in the world. You mean it dried up? Man, you're looking for a very strange time in America, man. They burning up all these different farms and meat packing houses and all these different things that they're doing to the food and the meat and still they're going to war, but they still have enough money to freaking still drive jets over all these cities to still stream out chemtrails. So there was another train derailment in Williams, Arizona, that's supposed to have new cars and new vans and stuff in it. So you got all sorts of things that's happening, man. You got what is it? I forgot what country it was, but there's another country that they want to give jets to Ukraine, and they said no, they don't want to give their jets to Ukraine. They want to sell it to the Philippines. Right? Because they're supposed to be their allies, so they're not their allies like that. They like, nah, we won't make this money, man. Right? So the pleasant fields is not there for the fruits, for the fruitful vine, and upon the land, right? When the land you at, America is all good, and just even the world, it's kind of putting these women on a pedestal, man. Even where you got places where like Arabia and stuff, where women are revolting and saying they don't want to wear their head garment and you know what I mean, and things are turning crazy, man. Now all of a sudden the women are rebellion, and now there's Bati boys over in their land. All of a sudden. Because of all this, because of women, what we all die, man. Once that all happens, once a woman is elevated to this level, all of a sudden men become weak, man. Right? It says, yeah, for the fruitful vine and upon the land of my people, right? And the Israelites are scattered around the world, shall come upon thorns and briars, yea, because that's what the Lord said. He's coming to judge the world. So wherever you Israelites are at, these heathen are going to experience hell because you're there. And then because of that, some people are going to know it's because you're the Israelites, and they're going to come after you. They're going to try to kill you. Hey man, they're going to try to do you like Jonah. Try to throw you out their place so they can get some type of ease, some type of rest. Right? Thorns and briars, yea, upon all the houses of joy, and in the joyous cities, right? All around the world where you women that sat around, put up on a pedestal, all these things are gonna come down, man. The Lord is gonna start judging you, man. And that's already happening. So call Yahweh, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the Akim and the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever. The hopeful elect, Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel and have come back to the fold. Shalom. To you sisters, you Akwatium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. And a Bible ball.